Alright, welcome to the channel. I'm sitting outside of my house today, doing a little spiel here for you. So, this video that you're going to see, my brother made. Harbor Freight wheel chuck that he bought for his bike. So he gave me the footage. I slapped it together. Of course, he did it off his phone, but he did it in upright position. The video is going to be narrow. I'm not that high tech, I don't know how to fix it. Anyway, so it's his first video, and probably his only video because he doesn't want to do this stuff. So I'll slap it together. If you ain't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the bell so you're notified when new videos come out. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment below. If you have any questions on this, I'm sure he will reply to any of your comments. I'll see you next time.
Well, I guess this will be my first time doing a recording myself. I'll have my brother put it up on his channel. I went out and bought a wheel chock for my 22 Goldwing. Mine's the base model that doesn't have the center stand on it. You know, obviously keeping it centered, putting it up on the center is going to be difficult without a center stand. Also, if you actually read the manual, it says all the services that you do, oil check, coolant check, final drive check, it's not supposed to be on the center stand. Technically, it doesn't make the bike level because it takes your back wheel off the ground. Will it make that much difference? Most people say it's not that big a deal. But if you want to follow the rules, you should have a wheel chock. Otherwise, you'd have to have a second person in order to do any of these, checks. So let me go ahead and switch the view here and I'll be back. All right, so this is the wheel chock I bought, the Pittsburgh one from Harbor Freight. A lot of people say it's really decent as long as you do a few modifications. Here's all the parts laid out, basically. Basically, I'm gonna try to use a wheel chock on this to keep it upright while I can check the oil and coolant and the final drive, without having my brother come over every time I want to check it and hear him cry. Doing some research online, some of the people say, well, a lot of people say you should go down and get washers to put on these bars right here that go in here so the thing won't slide back and forth as much. Obviously, I wanted the right size washer, so I haven't bought the washers yet. I want to unbox it, take one of the bars down with me and go down to the hardware and grab a handful. So that'll make it more stable, less wobbly. Now, there's some complaints out there that when you go to put your bike up on or take it off, that this will just slide across the concrete. I'm gonna guess that's probably true, especially if you got slick concrete like this, like mine. Some people say there's a video out there that says you can cut out like a board to put in here and over here, so it gives the bike doesn't have to jump so much to get up into the chock. Yeah, you could probably do that. But then I saw the other video that actually suggested just gluing on some rubber pads to the bottom of the thing so it won't slide on the concrete. Once you put a little weight on, it'll just stick. I think that's a fantastic idea. I'm gonna try to see if I can get some rubber pads or something to put under, the glue onto the bottom or stick on the bottom or something. But all right, so when I get back from the hardware store with some washers, I'll tell you how many I put on there and then see if I can get some kind of, rubber to go underneath that. Okay, I went down to our local hardware and grabbed some more washers. These are the stock washers that come on the bars, right? And you can see how much slack there is. The inside hole is much, much bigger. The difference on also, the ones I picked up were much bigger, round-wise, and also much thicker, because I'm going to be using them for like spacing it out. So I'll show you once I get the thing mostly together, and see how things go. So in case you're wondering, the two bolts they give you to attach that to the end of it, the crossbar, the bolt end is actually a 14 millimeter, and the nut is actually a 17. Just so you know, 17, 14. So I'm just going to use a 17 to hold the nut and a 14 ratchet to tighten it. So I got those bolts put in. Obviously, you want the bolt on this side and the nut on this side. Otherwise, this, when you tighten it up, may kind of get in here. May get kind of in here when you know, if you have it all the way back. And don't over tighten, because what'll happen is you'll just start sinking this into the mount. All right, now I'm just gonna put I'm gonna put this one in, because this one right here is a set point. There's only one hole right there. This part right here is the adjustable one, right there. So you just gotta measure your tire and figure out, roughly what it'll be like when you get this in there. All right, well, I got it together for now. I think I have it adjusted for my size tires. I will probably have, no, my luck, I'll probably have to readjust it. I ended up using, because depending on the thickness of the washers you use, I put 2 in between here on both sides, kind of evened it out. And then I put a couple on the outside so the bar wouldn't slide back and forth as much. You don't want it super tight because you want some slack, and this has got to move. And now it's much more sturdy. On the underside, so it won't slide, I had some stuff I bought last year. Basically, it's just like a rubber, almost like a rubber anti-skid self-adhesive. It's not very thick. You don't want a lot of thickness because otherwise it'll raise it'll raise the plate off the ground. So I just cut some pieces, a couple pieces right at the end where it touches the floor, right? And I just put a couple on there. And then I just stuck a little bit on the levelers, basically, because that pretty much means the rest of it doesn't touch the ground. So now, all right, if you had something really thick, it would place this off the ground more, and you don't want to do that. So now, it doesn't slide very well on the concrete, so it grips the concrete better. Cheap, easy, eventually it'll probably, peel off, but then just put some more on. An easy way to fix it. All right, that pretty much sums that up. I might take a quick pick once I get it up on, get the bike up on it. I cut out some wood pieces here. Basically, I used 1/4 inch over here, just so the tire sits on that a little bit more than just sitting on those little bars right there. Also, I made a little custom one here. You've probably seen it online. There's been a few instructions about it. I just used some R11, actual siding, board siding. Basically, you cut a notch out here so that this sits down in there, and that way you can keep this just about flat. If it goes down too far, like that, it's too hard to push the bike up over. And also, I beveled this down. I did actually 45-degree angle, so it's a little easier to roll up on there. I still do have a little bit of trouble with the Goldwing pushing it up by myself, but if you just put it in gear or even walk mode, it'll just push right up on there, no problem, and the thing doesn't slide anymore. I'll just go ahead and show you how it is to put it up on there in walk mode. That's it. Goes right up in there real easy. I do leave the kickstand down just for safety reasons, but it's pretty steady now. The washers did make a huge difference. They did slide all over the place before. I believe I have it gapped right. I went from second to the last. The tire does sit down on that barely. The gear takes it right up in it. You saw it didn't slide.